1 second here. All right, welcome in. Really excited to have this guest. He has a unique perspective of not only OU softball, but definitely the OU softball season this year. He's Partick Dunn, OU softball SID, which, if you don't know, he is such a legit SID that I guess he won an award like a week ago. Is that right, Patrick?
Oh yeah, I don't know. I didn't put much stock in it. I hate all the individual accolades. I like to be behind the scenes, but yeah, that was pretty cool. I was pretty grateful to be among some really good people in our industry, and yeah, that was cool. It was a surprise to me. I didn't know that was happening, so that was cool.
Yeah, well, OU softball is so legit that everyone wins awards, all the way down to the SID, I guess, basically, is the story of the season, man. Hey, before I ask you some questions about this season, just kind of let everyone know your official title within OU and kind of what your day-to-day routine looks like, especially when it comes to the OU softball team.
Yeah, man. SID is it's an ever-changing title, but sports information director. My official title is assistant director of athletics communications. I'm the sport contact for softball, soccer, and I'm our third contact for football. So, kind of jack of all trades. Everybody helps kind of with football, so that's all hands on deck. But yeah, just social media, stats, game scoring in terms of hits and errors. So don't come at me if you don't see a hit or if you have a scoring decision that needs to be made. But no, it's a good time. SIDs are fairly underappreciated, I think, and we like to think that we play a pretty big role in team success and making things run behind the scenes. But full credit to the softball team specifically for their extreme success and just having me along for the ride.
How do you explain to someone who asks the amount of attention and media requests that you saw this season?
Oh man, it was crazy. I kind of joke with people, and it's not really there, but I joke that softball is football in the spring. I mean, it's bonkers. You guys just blow me up from every which direction for requests, and I try to fulfill everybody's, but we towards the end of the season last year, we were getting to a place that we had to cut back a little bit, and Coach Gasso specifically said let's kind of put our blinders on and focus on the goal and the task at hand. But we were able to work something out where we were able to have 1 day a week to knock out all of our media requests, which were plenty. But it's a good experience for me, and it's a good experience for the student athletes to get their face in front of a camera, in front of a microphone. And I think it really prepares them for life both after softball and when a lot of our athletes go on to play professionally. So it was a lot to take in. I think that I think we had ESPN here for like a week for Bedlam, and then obviously the World Series, just a whole beast in and of itself. You have one media day up there, and then you have another one if you make the championship series. But ESPN's awesome to work with. You guys are awesome to work with. I really love my the softball beat. There are a bunch of really good people on there, so it was a fun year. And just the train is rolling, and I don't really see it stopping right now, so it's pretty fun.
Neither do I, man. And attention this year for the program is nothing new. I mean, we've seen it for the past several years now. Media attention, crowds, all that. But this year just kind of seemed different. You had a legendary team and a legendary player chasing a legendary stat. When was the first time, I guess, this past year that you realized or thought to yourself, I've been busy before and I expect that, but the attention that we're getting now kind of seems a little bit different than anything I've ever seen? What did that moment happen this season?
Oh, man, I don't know. I really think it probably started last season. I think, us coming out of the gates last year, 2021, 13 home runs in the season opener was just bonkers. And it wasn't super available to watch, but people obviously the record got out there, and then everybody was like, okay, Oklahoma's going to be legit this year. And sure enough, we were number one after like 3 weeks. And I think, we've been number one since. And, this year, Jocelyn's, home run record chase really just took it to another level. ESPN followed us. They had a writer follow us from when she hit the record tying homer in Houston, all the way out to Hawaii. There's 3 to 5 media members that traveled out to Hawaii, which was just crazy to think about. And, it was a blast. And, I think definitely Jocelyn's, record chase really amplified everything, but just the success of this team and the numerous amount of records they break is, just, I feel like really puts them on the map. And, Sooner Nation is, they're crazy. Fan base is crazy. They eat up softball, and it's awesome to see. And, I think that definitely plays a role in it too. And our fan base is obviously very active on Twitter and social media in general. So they make my job fun. And I think really get the word out there about this team. So,
yeah. How did, from your point of view, how did Jocelyn handle all that? Because, she was the face. I think you can argue she was the face of college softball this year. If not her, then it's Patty Gasso. And just the overwhelming amount of requests that she's getting, just from how you saw it. How did she deal with it? Did her personality mesh with that? Just kind of hold that whole situation.
Yeah, man. She handled it really well. She obviously had a lot of people in her corner to, lean on. One was Lauren Chamberlain. We had a Zoom with the media after she hit the number 95 to tie the record with her and Lauren and Coach Gasso. And, Lauren said, how close they were, and Jocelyn echoed that. And just, Lauren had been through it, and, Coach Gasso was obviously with Lauren as well. And so she had a lot of people in her corner that she could lean on. And, it didn't take a toll on her, I don't think, but I think she was just ready for it to be over. She was ready to hit it. And, with everybody walking her for, I think 8 games in a row, it got pretty frustrating, but, it was just crazy how it panned out, and the storybook, ending to it, where she hits it in Hawaii in her home state in front of all of her friends and family. I think she had probably 200 plus friends and family there. And, there's people on the rooftops of a parking garage adjacent to the stadium, and it was just crazy. But she handled it well. We joke all the time that she hates hearing from me, because she just knows that it's going to be an interview or some sort of request. But and I joked with her that's why I won that award, is because I just had to chase her around all the time. But she's awesome, and she's just so humble, so grateful, and just really, driven by just wanting to be the best, and be the best for herself, not really for anybody else. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah. You get a front row seat to this whole ride. And I think that your point of view is so interesting, because, like, me as a fan and someone who just hosts a podcast about the team, the final out was made in the national championship. So, Patrick, I'm fist pumping, I'm slapping hands with people all around, like I'm celebrating. If you're on the field with the team, one of the players, you're celebrating. If you're in the dugout, you're celebrating. But you, a lot of the times, you're in like a quote unquote, a professional media setting where people don't know there's no cheering allowed in the press box, and you're a little bit different because you're affiliated with the team. Naturally, you want this team to win every game. You get really close to this team, traveling being around them every single day. So when that final out is made, or they win a huge game, or a huge play happens, I know you're happy for them, but can you outwardly show that emotion in kind of the setting that you're in?
It's tough. It's tough. It's funny because I sit with Plank throughout all of our non-conference early in the year on these, these tiny little tables set up in Palm Springs or in Houston, or, these kind of smaller venues. And so me and Plank always, we're each other's partners on the road, and, at home, I'm just one door away from him in our press box. And so you get up to OKC, and I actually sat with him for the first few games up there. And, we have a little bit more fun, and because we get our own booth up there. And so, I'm able to, get a little fired up with him, but with, the records that this team breaks and stuff like that, I'm not in the main part of the press box when I'm with Plank. And so I had to move down to the main part of the press box so I could be next to, the PA and the ESPN stats guy and be able to feed them, any stats and stuff like that. And so that's when you have to be, quite a bit more professional. And, I pride myself on, being as professional as I can in those settings. And I was able to kind of hand off the reins for the final few outs of the championship series. And I was able to be in the dugout, and it was funny. We had that Texas made a little run there. And so I was, there's a little hallway behind the dugout. And so I would run back there and get back on my laptop and tweet a little something, or like text somebody up in the press box to get this out or get that out. 'Cause obviously you're not supposed to be on your phone in the dugout. So, but as soon as that final out was recorded, I was able to cheer and, give all of my sports staff hugs. And it was a really cool moment, back-to-back years. And just, it's crazy because you're so happy and you're so stoked, but also it's like, dang, this is the end. Like, I'm not going to see Jocelyn Allo play in an Oklahoma jersey again. Lindsey Elam, a 3-year captain, just a lot of these seniors that you grow really close with. And, it's just, it comes to a halt, but you're at the top of the sport, and it's it's just, you're ecstatic, and it's pretty cool. But I try to, it's kind of weird because you have those moments where you're actually able to cheer, and being in this profession I've been here for 5 or 6 years now. Just, you get used to not being able to cheer, just like a silent fist pump or something like that. And so it's kind of weird when you are able to, and you're just like, it's just like some claps or like some fist pumps. So
it's interesting that you said, the final outs made, national champions. Oh my gosh, there's some legendary players here. We're never going to see it play at OU again. I really got that feeling. I got that feeling inside the stadium that night, that everyone was happy, but it was at the same time it was sad. And Patty had a reaction at the podium after the game. You're a lot closer to her than I am, and you've seen her in a lot more media settings than I have, but her getting that emotional, I've never seen her like that before. Have you ever seen Patty react that strongly, that emotionally over anything like she did after that championship game?
Oh, not really. I mean, I think, there was just a lot of very special players on the team this year. And, I think you saw that kind of come out in her response there at the end. And, a season, and I can't speak for, she's the GOAT, and she's been here for 30 years, done it for numerous years, but she's said a few times where these past few years have been really hard on the program, just because we're expected to be this good. And it's crazy to go wire to wire number one, and how hard and just kind of grueling that is. And so I think that wore on the team and her a little bit, but she's the best at what she does, and she's able to handle it. And, I think that's where that came from, is just like, we did it. And, it was a heck of a year in terms of, just the attention that this team had. And for, us to, finish it off and, go wire to wire number one, win back-to-back titles. I think that's kind of what you saw. And, along with some of the players that she's, that have just been staples of the program the past 4 to 5 years, see them graduate and in their careers. It's, it's just a bittersweet moment. And I think that's, where that came from. So,
yeah. Last question I got for you. And I asked Jana Johns earlier this season this exact same question. Like, what's been your favorite road trip so far at OU? And she was like, I mean, come on, it's Hawaii. Are you kidding me? But even if you take away, and it's hard to do it, but even if you take away the incredible moment that Jocelyn had in Hawaii, is that still the favorite road trip that you've had this year and maybe your entire career at OU? That sounds like it'd be tough to beat.
Yeah, it's got to be up there, man. I mean, just I think everybody that was there just was able to experience just the moment. And I mean, it almost wasn't even when she hit 96. It was I think it was the Wednesday before, when we went out to her hometown and kind of had a little, appearance with some kids and families out there, at the field she grew up, playing on and practicing with her dad. That was the moment, man. And it was really cool. And I think everybody that was there kind of realized like what we were witnessing. And that was just an awesome moment. But yeah, I mean, Hawaii was up there, but the travel was awesome with softball, man. You get to go to Palm Springs. You get to go to, we went to Mexico a few years ago for a season opening tournament. This year's Kentucky game was a lot of fun. That was kind of our first test. I think that, top 10 team, SEC country, pretty crowded. Obviously, I think, it was sold out. I mean, we sell out practically everywhere we go. So, but that one was up there, I think, for me. Austin was a lot of fun, very, fiery, back and forth. And then, that Sunday game that we dropped, you would have thought they won the World Series, but, we ended up seeing them in the World Series. So it's kind of crazy, but, all the respect to Texas and, all the teams we play. It was just a really fun year. And yeah, I'd still say Hawaii's probably at the top though.
Yeah, man, I don't blame you. He's Partick Dunn, OU softball SID. Don't think that he's just going to be hanging out the rest of the summer or the rest of the fall, just waiting for softball season to come. We got fall softball going on, and he's involved with OU football. I just thought about that. Is the fall your busiest time of the year, trying to juggle both of those?
It's up there, dude. I mean, I just think with the, how grueling the schedule is in the spring, where you go to California and then you turn around and go to Houston, or turn around and go back to California. I think the spring still probably takes the cake, but I mean, in the fall, you got fall ball, softball, which we sell out, practically treat like, a regular season game. And then, I handle soccer as well. So soccer is trying to, they're getting off the ground and running right now. And then, every Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday is a big work day for football as well. It's the fall's a grind, but, wouldn't trade the job for the world, man. It's a blast, and have fun doing it and hanging out with guys like you.
Yeah. Hey, man, I appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on Diamond Envy, and man, best of luck this coming season.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. I'll see you around.
All right, dude. That was perfect. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.